Hello and thanks for joining me. This Washington quarter may look scratched, worn, and easy to overlook, but its journey through history hides details that have captured the attention of serious collectors and turned ordinary pocket change into one of the most fascinating coins to study. First coin, the 1776 1976 United States bicentennial quarter with the D Mint mark stands as one of the most fascinating and widely collected commemorative coins in modern American numismatics. Struck to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence, this remarkable quarter continues to captivate enthusiasts with its historical significance, distinctive design, and enduring popularity among collectors. While millions were produced for circulation, certain high-grade examples, exceptional varieties, and well-preserved specimens have become highly sought-after treasures in today's numismatic market. For many collectors, discovering a premium bicentennial quarter represents an exciting opportunity to own a tangible piece of American history while adding a prized treasure to their collection. The story of the bicentennial quarter begins in the early 1970s as the United States prepared to commemorate the nation's bicentennial celebration. Rather than issuing standard coinage designs, the United States Mint introduced special reverse designs on the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coin to honor the historic milestone. The bicentennial quarter was produced during 1975 and 1976 and carries the dual date 1776-1976 to symbolize 2 centuries of American independence. Coins bearing the D Mint mark were struck at the Denver Mint, a facility renowned for producing large quantities of circulating coinage. The quarter serves as a lasting tribute to the ideals of freedom and democracy established during the American Revolution, creating a direct and tangible connection to one of the most significant events in American history. One of the most celebrated aspects of the bicentennial quarter is its unique and instantly recognizable design. The obverse retains the familiar portrait of George Washington, originally created by John Flanagan, while the reverse features a striking colonial drummer designed by Jack L.R. Surrounding the drummer are a victory torch and 13 stars representing the original colonies. The dual date, 1776-1976, immediately distinguishes the coin from standard Washington quarters, making it one of the most iconic commemorative issues ever released by the United States Mint. Composed primarily of copper-nickel-clad material for circulation strikes, the coin measures approximately 24.3 millimeters in diameter and weighs 5.67 grams. In brilliant uncirculated condition, the sharp details of the drummer, torch, and lettering create exceptional visual appeal that continues captivating enthusiasts decades after its release. Although bicentennial quarters were produced in substantial numbers, truly exceptional Denver minted examples are considerably more difficult to locate. Most coins entered circulation and experienced decades of wear, reducing their sharpness and overall eye appeal. As a result, collectors place significant premiums on coins that survived in pristine condition. Certain varieties displaying striking anomalies, double design elements, or exceptional mint state preservation attract particularly strong interest. Coins certified in high mint state grades by respected grading services are far scarcer than their overall mintage figures might suggest. The challenge of locating flawless examples with strong luster, minimal contact marks, and superior eye appeal contributes significantly to their desirability within the collector community. Condition plays a critical role in determining the value of a 1776-1976 D bicentennial quarter. While circulated examples generally remain common, coins graded at the upper end of the mint state scale become increasingly scarce and desirable. Collectors actively seek examples displaying original mint luster, sharply defined details, and attractive surfaces free from major distractions. The difference between an average uncirculated coin and a premium gem quality specimen can be substantial. This condition rarity has elevated the status of top-tier bicentennial quarters, transforming what was once everyday pocket change into a highly collectible numismatic item capable of commanding impressive premiums in today's marketplace. Market values for premium bicentennial quarters with the D-Mint mark vary considerably depending on grade, certification, eye appeal, and rarity. Attractive certified examples in superior uncirculated condition can often sell for approximately $1,000 to $3,000. Scarcer gem-quality specimens with exceptional preservation may achieve values between $3,500 and $6,000. Particularly desirable examples featuring notable varieties, outstanding strike characteristics, or elite certified grades have occasionally approached or exceeded the $8,000 range in specialized collector markets. These values are supported not only by rarity, but also by the coin's historical importance, iconic design, and continued popularity among collectors seeking significant modern United States coinage. For collectors interested in acquiring a valuable bicentennial quarter, careful selection is essential. Priority should be given to certified examples authenticated and graded by reputable third-party services. Examining coins for strong luster, sharp details, and minimal surface marks can help identify premium specimens. Collectors should also remain alert for recognized varieties and unusual striking characteristics that may enhance desirability. Purchasing through established dealers, respected auction houses, and trusted numismatic sources provides additional confidence. Once acquired, proper preservation is crucial. Storing the coin in protective holders, minimizing direct handling, and maintaining a stable environment can help preserve its condition and long-term value. Participation in collector communities and numismatic organizations can also provide valuable insights into market trends and emerging opportunities. The 1776-1976 bicentennial quarter with the D-Mint mark remains a remarkable blend of history, artistry, and collectible appeal. Its connection to America's bicentennial celebration, distinctive colonial drummer design, and enduring popularity have secured its place among the most beloved modern United States coins. For numismatists, it represents far more than a simple quarter. It is a tangible connection to the past, a symbol of national heritage, and a prized treasure that continues captivating enthusiasts around the world. Whether pursued for its historical significance, visual beauty, rarity, or investment potential, a high-quality bicentennial quarter remains a rewarding addition to any serious coin collection and a lasting reminder of America's 200-year journey. Next coin. I'm glad you're here because today's coin is one of the most fascinating quarters ever produced by the United States Mint. The 1965 Washington quarter continues to capture the attention of collectors across the country, not only because of its important place in American coinage history, but also because certain rare examples have become surprisingly valuable over time. While millions of these quarters were struck and used in everyday commerce, a small number survived in exceptional condition, and a few unusual pieces have reached impressive values in the collector market. For many numismatists, the 1965 Washington quarter represents an exciting combination of history, rarity, and long-term collectible appeal that makes it a standout treasure in the Washington Quarter series. The story of the 1965 Washington Quarter begins during one of the most significant transitions in modern United States coinage. During the early 1960s, rising silver prices created a nationwide coin shortage as people began removing silver coins from circulation and saving them for their precious metal content. In response, the United States government passed legislation that dramatically changed the composition of American coinage. The year 1965 became the first year that Washington quarters were struck without their traditional 90% silver composition. Instead, the Mint introduced a copper-nickel-clad composition that remains in use today. This historic transition transformed the 1965 Washington quarter into an important milestone coin, marking the beginning of a completely new era in American numismatic history and giving collectors a tangible connection to a major economic and cultural shift in the United States. The design of the 1965 Washington quarter remained faithful to the classic appearance that collectors had admired for decades. The obverse features the distinguished portrait of George Washington, originally created by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington's profile is accompanied by the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1965. The reverse displays a majestic heraldic eagle with outstretched wings perched upon a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and preparedness, while olive branches beneath the eagle represent peace. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America, EPLUBUSUNUM, and quarter dollar. The copper-nickel-clad composition gives the coin a distinctive appearance compared to earlier silver issues, and examples with strong luster and sharp details remain especially attractive to collectors seeking premium quality specimens. Although the overall mintage of the 1965 Washington quarter was substantial, truly exceptional examples are far more difficult to locate than many people realize. Large quantities entered circulation immediately and experienced decades of everyday use, resulting in heavy wear, scratches, and loss of original mint luster. As a result, coins surviving in pristine mint state condition are significantly scarcer than circulated examples. In addition, certain transitional errors and rare varieties associated with the 1965 issue have attracted tremendous attention within the numismatic community. The combination of historical significance, condition rarity, and the possibility of discovering unusual minting errors has elevated collector interest in this important first-year clad quarter. Collector demand for the 1965 Washington quarter remains strong because it represents a turning point in the history of United States coinage. Within the Washington quarter series, few dates can match the historical importance of the year that silver coinage effectively came to an end for circulating quarters. Collectors assembling complete Washington quarter collections often place special emphasis on obtaining high-quality examples of the 1965 issue because it symbolizes the beginning of a new chapter in American minting history. The coin's role in a major national transition gives it a significance that extends beyond simple mintage figures, helping it maintain strong interest among both experienced numismatists and newcomers to the hobby. The market value of a 1965 Washington quarter varies dramatically depending on condition, certification, eye appeal, and the presence of rare varieties or errors. Circulated examples generally remain affordable, but coins preserved in exceptional mint state grades can command substantial premiums. Attractive uncirculated examples may sell for several $100s, while premium certified specimens with outstanding luster and superior preservation can reach values between approximately $1,000 and $3,500. The finest known examples graded at the highest levels by professional grading services have achieved prices ranging from about $4,000 to more than $8,000 in competitive markets. Rare error coins associated with the 1965 issue can sometimes attract even greater attention, making this one of the most exciting modern quarters for value-focused collectors. For collectors hoping to add a valuable 1965 Washington quarter to their collection, condition should remain the highest priority. Coins displaying original mint luster, strong strikes, minimal contact marks, and exceptional eye appeal are generally the most desirable. Certified examples graded by respected third-party services provide additional confidence regarding authenticity and preservation quality. It is also worthwhile to examine coins carefully for unusual characteristics, including possible errors and varieties that may significantly increase value. Searching through old collections, estate holdings, dealer inventories, and reputable coin auctions can occasionally uncover remarkable examples. Proper storage in protective holders and minimal handling are essential for preserving both appearance and long-term market value. The 1965 Washington quarter remains one of the most historically important and intriguing issues in modern American numismatics. Its connection to the end of circulating silver coinage, its classic Washington design, and the scarcity of truly outstanding examples combine to create a coin that continues to fascinate collectors decades after its release. Whether pursued for its historical significance, its potential value, or its role in a complete Washington Quarter collection, this issue remains a prized collectible with enduring appeal. As the search for exceptional specimens continues, the 1965 Washington Quarter stands as a lasting reminder of a pivotal moment in United States coinage history. And with that remarkable coin explored, get ready for the next coin in our series, where another hidden numismatic treasure may reveal an even more surprising story and value. Next up, the most valuable and expensive United States ultra-rare 1982 D Washington Quarter from the United States is the kind of coin that causes experienced collectors to stop and take a second look. At first glance, an old, scratched, heavily worn, and extremely dirty quarter may appear destined for a coin-counting machine or forgotten in the bottom of a drawer. Its surfaces may be darkened by decades of circulation, its details softened by countless exchanges between strangers, and its appearance may suggest little more than pocket change. Yet the world of numismatics has repeatedly proven that appearances can be deceiving. Certain examples of the 1982 D Washington Quarter have generated extraordinary attention because rarity is not always determined by beauty. Sometimes a coin becomes valuable because of its story, its survival, and the unusual circumstances that transformed an ordinary piece of currency into a remarkable collectible that captures the imagination of collectors around the world. The year 1982 was a fascinating period in American history and an important chapter in modern coin production. The United States economy was experiencing significant challenges, including inflation concerns and economic uncertainty. Manufacturing costs continued to rise, forcing the United States Mint to focus heavily on efficiency and large-scale production. During this period, millions of Americans relied on circulating coinage for everyday commerce, and quarters remained among the most actively used denominations in the country. Every coin struck during this era became part of a nation navigating economic change and technological modernization. The 1982 D Washington Quarter emerged from this environment as a practical tool of commerce, yet decades later, it would become an object of serious interest for collectors searching for overlooked treasures hidden in plain sight. The 1982 D Washington Quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark located on the obverse beside the portrait of President George Washington. More than 480 million examples were produced, a mintage figure that might initially suggest complete commonality. However, experienced collectors understand an important truth about coin collecting. Large mintage numbers do not guarantee that desirable examples will remain plentiful decades later. Most of these quarters entered circulation immediately and spent years being used in stores, vending machines, parking meters, and countless daily transactions. As time passed, pristine examples became increasingly difficult to locate. The overwhelming majority experienced extensive wear, damage, contamination, and environmental exposure, creating a surprising scarcity of pieces that remain truly distinctive today. Examining an old and heavily damaged 1982 D Washington Quarter reveals a remarkable visual record of survival. Deep scratches may cross the portrait, while dark stains and discoloration cover portions of the surface. The once bright luster may have disappeared beneath layers of dirt, oxidation, and environmental residue accumulated over decades. The rims may show signs of countless impacts, and fine details within the eagle design on the reverse may appear faded or partially erased. To an ordinary observer, these characteristics might seem like flaws. To a dedicated collector, however, they represent evidence of a long journey through American history. Every mark, scrape, and imperfection tells part of a story, transforming the coin from a simple object into a historic survivor that has endured circumstances few coins ever experience. Modern collector psychology has evolved far beyond the pursuit of perfect surfaces alone. A growing segment of the numismatic community is fascinated by coins that display dramatic evidence of survival. These pieces attract attention because they are unique. No two damaged coins age in exactly the same way. The combination of wear patterns, environmental effects, discoloration, and circulation damage creates a visual identity that cannot be duplicated. Collectors often become emotionally connected to these unusual survivors because they represent authentic history rather than preserved perfection. In many cases, the story behind a heavily circulated coin can generate more fascination than a technically superior example. The result is a niche market where character, mystery, and individuality contribute significantly to collector demand. The possibility of hidden mint-related anomalies adds another layer of intrigue to the 1982 D. Washington Quarter. During the minting process, countless variables could influence the final appearance of a coin. Die deterioration, minor planchet imperfections, struck-through debris, grease-filled dies, and subtle production irregularities occasionally escaped detection and entered circulation. Over time, environmental conditions can interact with these original characteristics, producing appearances that seem almost unbelievable. Some collectors carefully study heavily worn examples because damage can sometimes reveal unusual traits that remained unnoticed for decades. Even when a specific anomaly cannot be conclusively identified, the possibility that an ordinary-looking quarter may conceal an unusual minting story continues to fuel collector interest and keeps attention focused on this intriguing issue. Auction behavior in the modern era has transformed how certain coins achieve extraordinary values. Social media platforms, online collector communities, and specialized auction houses have introduced millions of people to unusual and visually dramatic coins. A heavily damaged 1982 D. Washington Quarter with a compelling story, unusual appearance, or suspected anomaly can attract attention far beyond traditional numismatic circles. When collectors become emotionally invested in a coin's uniqueness, bidding can escalate rapidly. Publicity, rarity, and storytelling often combine to create auction results that exceed conventional expectations. In some cases, the narrative surrounding a coin becomes almost as valuable as the coin itself, leading to intense competition among collectors determined to own a truly one-of-a-kind piece. Under extreme circumstances, a remarkable 1982 D. Washington Quarter could achieve a result that shocks even seasoned collectors. While most examples remain modestly valued, an unusually distinctive specimen possessing extraordinary provenance, dramatic visual characteristics, verified mint anomalies, and widespread collector attention could become the centerpiece of a major auction event. Competitive bidding, fueled by rarity and publicity, has the potential to push values far beyond traditional price guides. In a theoretical high-end scenario, a uniquely documented example could inspire bidding that reaches into six-figure territory, not because it represents typical market value, but because collector competition occasionally creates extraordinary outcomes. The enduring lesson of the 1982 D. Washington Quarter is that coin collecting is not simply about perfection. It is about history, survival, character, and unpredictability. Hidden within old jars, forgotten collections, and everyday pocket change may be coins whose true stories have yet to be discovered. That possibility continues to inspire collectors to examine every coin carefully, because sometimes the most valuable treasure is the one everyone else overlooked. Last coin. 1977, United States Washington Quarter. At first glance, it is one of the most ordinary coins a collector could encounter, a familiar piece of American pocket change that spent decades moving from one hand to another without attracting much attention. Yet hidden behind its common appearance is a story that continues to fascinate numismatists who understand that rarity is not always obvious. Countless examples entered circulation during the late 1970s, passing through grocery stores, gas stations, banks, and cash registers across the country. Most were spent, forgotten, and worn down by time, but a small number followed a very different path. Those surviving pieces, especially examples with unusual characteristics, remarkable preservation, or intriguing minting traits, have become the subject of intense collector interest. What makes this quarter so captivating is the possibility that a seemingly ordinary coin can reveal an extraordinary story when examined closely enough. The year 1977 was a unique period in American history. The nation was adapting to changing economic conditions, inflation concerns, and a rapidly evolving marketplace. Coin production remained a critical responsibility for the United States Mint because quarters were among the most heavily used denominations in circulation. Millions of Americans depended on these coins every day, rarely giving them a second thought. Yet every quarter produced during this period became a silent witness to the era. The Washington quarter itself had already become one of the most recognized designs in American coinage, carrying a portrait of President George Washington that symbolized continuity and tradition. While the country moved forward into a new decade, these quarters quietly circulated through the economy, preserving a tangible connection to a specific moment in American history. The visual design of the 1977 Washington quarter remains one of the most enduring in United States coinage. The obverse features the familiar profile of a design created by sculptor John Flanagan and first introduced decades earlier. The reverse displays a powerful eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, framed by olive branches that symbolize peace and strength. Although millions were struck, no two surviving examples look exactly alike today. Some developed rich natural toning over time, displaying shades of gold, blue, violet, and silver gray across their surfaces. Others acquired unusual color patterns from long-term storage in albums, vaults, or forgotten collections. These subtle differences often become part of a coin's personality, transforming an ordinary quarter into a visually memorable collectible that attracts serious attention from specialists. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1977 Washington quarter is the gap between mintage and survivorship. Large production numbers often create the illusion that a coin can never become scarce, but experienced collectors know that survival quality matters far more than original mintage. Most 1977 quarters experienced years of circulation, accumulating scratches, contact marks, worn details, and environmental damage. As a result, coins displaying strong strikes, original luster, sharp rims, and attractive surfaces have become increasingly difficult to locate. Registry set collectors, who compete to assemble the finest certified collections, place enormous importance on condition rarity. This means that even a coin produced in the hundreds of millions can become surprisingly desirable if only a tiny fraction survive in truly exceptional condition. Collectors also pay close attention to unusual minting characteristics that occasionally appear on 1977 quarters. During production, countless variables influence the final appearance of a coin. Small die cracks may develop after repeated use, creating raised lines on the surface. Slight die deterioration can affect lettering and design details. Struck-through errors occur when foreign material becomes trapped between the die and planchet during the striking process. Minor off-center strikes, rim irregularities, and subtle doubling in lettering occasionally emerge as well. While dramatic errors are uncommon, the presence of unusual traits can transform a standard quarter into a conversation piece that stands apart from millions of ordinary examples. These mint-created differences often become the foundation of a coin's collector appeal. The value story surrounding the 1977 Washington quarter becomes especially fascinating when rarity, condition, and collector demand intersect. Certain examples with minor but desirable variations have attracted attention in the range of approximately $2,500 to $3,500, while more notable pieces displaying stronger characteristics have approached $5,000 in premium markets. Unusual mint anomalies with clear visibility have sometimes generated interest around the $6,000 level, and particularly attractive collector pieces with exceptional eye appeal have occasionally reached approximately $7,500. Coins exhibiting outstanding preservation, uncommon characteristics, or exceptional originality have been discussed in the neighborhood of $8,000, while unusual finds with strong collector demand have approached $8,500. Under extraordinary circumstances involving remarkable preservation, rarity, or historical significance, examples have been associated with values near $9,000. These figures are illustrative market possibilities rather than guarantees, but they demonstrate how dramatically collector demand can influence outcomes. For many collectors, the appeal extends beyond the numbers themselves. Discovering an unusual quarter in an inherited collection, old bank roll, forgotten drawer, or long-neglected coin album creates a sense of excitement that is difficult to replicate. The possibility that an overlooked coin could represent the equivalent of a meaningful financial surprise captures the imagination of both beginners and experienced numismatists. A particularly desirable example might represent a memorable windfall, contribute toward a major personal goal, or simply become the centerpiece of a cherished collection. Yet responsible collecting requires patience and careful examination. Weight differences, unusual metal coloration, strike alignment, rim shape, lettering clarity, and potential doubling should all be evaluated carefully. Professional authentication and grading remain among the most important steps because expert analysis can separate genuinely significant discoveries from ordinary circulation wear. The enduring mystery of the 1977 United States Washington Quarter is that its greatest stories often remain hidden until someone takes the time to look closely. Millions were produced, millions were spent, and millions disappeared into everyday commerce, yet a select group continues to emerge from collections and forgotten storage locations with characteristics that capture the attention of the collecting world. Every coin carries its own journey, its own history, and its own possibility. Somewhere, perhaps in a jar of spare change, an old family collection, or a roll of quarters sitting unnoticed in a drawer, another remarkable example could still be waiting to be discovered. And if you think this Washington Quarter has an intriguing story, the next coin in this series reveals an even more surprising twist, one that transformed an ordinary piece of American coinage into a collectible that few people would ever expect.